Number 1. The Ones. The Ones of Mortis weren't just powerful Force users, they were the Force itself, given form. Appearing in the Clone Wars Season 3, these cosmic beings existed outside normal space and time, in a realm that shifted according to their will. The father embodied balance, maintaining equilibrium between his two children, the daughter who represented pure light and the son who was living darkness. Their abilities defied comprehension. The son could transform into a massive gargoyle, corrupt beings with a touch, and show people their darkest futures. He revealed Anakin's entire fall to the dark side, forcing the father to erase Anakin's memory. The daughter could resurrect the dead and heal any wound, ultimately sacrificing her life force to save Ahsoka Tano. The father possessed absolute control over both his children, despite their godlike powers, instantly subduing conflicts that could tear reality apart. When Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka encountered them, the father offered Anakin his position as the new keeper of balance. The Chosen One's refusal meant the galaxy would never again have such direct guardians. The son's murder of the daughter caused darkness to surge across the galaxy. The father's subsequent death, taking his own life to rob the son of power, removed the last cosmic arbiters of Force balance. Their existence proved the Force operates on incomprehensible levels. They weren't bound by physical laws, reshaping reality within Mortis at will. Their deaths had galactic consequences, suggesting these beings were load-bearing pillars of cosmic balance itself. Number 2. Darth Sidious Sheev. Palpatine achieved what no Sith had accomplished in a millennium: total galactic domination. For decades, he maintained perfect dual identities, serving as beloved Supreme Chancellor while secretly orchestrating both sides of the Clone Wars as Darth Sidious. His dark side presence was so expertly masked that he regularly met with Jedi Masters who never sensed his true nature, even when sitting across from them in his office. His Force abilities reached apocalyptic scales. In The Rise of Skywalker, he disabled thousands of ships simultaneously with Force lightning that erupted from his fingertips like a storm. His essence transfer technique allowed him to cheat death repeatedly, moving his consciousness into clone bodies on Exegol. During Order 66's execution, shown in Revenge of the Sith, he defeated Master Windu's arrest team in seconds, killing 3 Jedi Masters before they could react. But Palpatine's greatest weapon was psychological manipulation. He groomed Anakin from childhood, becoming a mentor figure while secretly orchestrating the tragedies that would drive him to the dark side. He transformed the Democratic Republic into a totalitarian empire, while receiving thunderous applause. Even death couldn't stop him. He spent decades building the Final Order, a fleet of Star Destroyers equipped with planet-destroying super lasers, while directing the First Order's rise from Exegol. His downfall came from underestimating his own bloodline. Rey, his granddaughter, channeled every Jedi who ever lived to deflect his lightning back at him, finally ending his existence. His legacy proved that patience and cunning could be deadlier than any lightsaber. Number 3. Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker shattered every rule about Force training through pure necessity and determination. With only days of training from Obi-Wan and weeks with Yoda, compared to the decades most Jedi studied, he somehow defeated Darth Vader and helped redeem the Chosen One. His journey from farm boy to Jedi Knight proved that belief and hope matter more than formal instruction. But Luke's true power emerged decades later in The Last Jedi, where he performed the most impressive Force feat ever shown on screen: a perfect Force projection across the galaxy. This wasn't merely an illusion. His projection physically interacted with Leia, handing her hands dice, and left footprints visible to everyone. He maintained this projection long enough to face down the entire First Order, allowing the Resistance to escape. The effort required was so immense it cost him his life, but he died having reignited hope across the galaxy. Between trilogies, Luke rebuilt the entire Jedi Order from fragments and his own discoveries. He located ancient Jedi texts, trained a new generation including his nephew Ben Solo, and developed Force sensitivity so acute he could sense darkness growing across star systems. His greatest evolution came through failure. Ben's fall taught him that the Jedi's legacy included hubris and dogma that needed addressing. His Force ghost appearances showed continued growth beyond death, teaching Rey that the Force belongs to everyone, not just the Jedi. Luke proved that true mastery means knowing when to fight and when to inspire others to carry on the fight. Love diving deep into Star Wars lore? Hit subscribe and join our journey through the galaxy's greatest mysteries, from ancient Sith secrets to the future of the Force itself. Number 4. Yoda. 9 centuries of existence made Yoda less a Force user and more a living nexus of Force energy itself. This diminutive Grandmaster possessed abilities that defied his elderly appearance and small stature. In Attack of the Clones, Audiences finally witnessed his combat prowess as he force-pushed massive debris aside, absorbed Count Dooku's lightning with his bare hands, and engaged in lightsaber combat at speeds that turned him into a green blur. His telekinetic abilities were unmatched among living Jedi. The ease with which he lifted Luke's X-Wing from Dagobah's swamp in The Empire Strikes Back, while barely concentrating, showed power levels that most Jedi couldn't achieve with maximum effort. During the Clone Wars, he demonstrated even more exotic abilities, like sensing events across the galaxy and communicating through the Force with distant Jedi. But Yoda's greatest achievement came from humility. After 900 years, he still admitted he had much to learn, journeying to the Force priestesses to understand immortality. This willingness to grow led to his mastering consciousness after death. As a Force ghost in The Last Jedi, he summoned lightning from the sky to destroy the ancient Jedi texts tree, showing that death only transformed his abilities rather than diminishing them. His teaching philosophy evolved from strict doctrine to understanding that the greatest teacher, failure is. His species remains mysteriously powerful in the Force, with Grogu showing similar potential, suggesting they might be naturally evolved conduits for Force energy. Yoda's legacy wasn't just power, but wisdom earned through centuries of success and failure. Number 5. Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker was space's immaculate conception, a being created by the Force itself with a midi-chlorian count over 20,000, shattering all previous records. Discovered at age 9, he was already the only human capable of pod racing, his reflexes enhanced by unconscious precognition that let him navigate at speeds that would kill anyone else. The mystery of his conception, Shmi insisted there was no father, suggested direct Force intervention or manipulation. As a Jedi Knight during the Clone Wars, Anakin's raw power was undeniable. He defeated Count Dooku when even Obi-Wan struggled, led the 501st Legion through impossible battles, and demonstrated piloting skills that defied physics. His emotional attachments, considered weakness by the Jedi, actually fueled unprecedented Force abilities. When rage took hold, he could dominate entire battlefields, as shown when he slaughtered the Tusken Raiders and later the Separatist leaders. As Darth Vader, despite losing most of his organic body and much of his potential, he became even more terrifying through focused hatred. He could force choke officers from different Star Destroyers, crush AT-ATs with telekinesis, and survive injuries through pure dark side will. His presence alone could paralyze enemies with fear. In Rogue One, a single corridor scene showed him methodically destroying rebel soldiers, demonstrating why the galaxy feared him. His redemption fulfilled the Chosen One prophecy. By destroying Palpatine to save Luke, he eliminated the Sith Order and brought balance to the Force. His arc proved that destiny isn't about power levels, but about choices, and that love could overcome even the deepest darkness. Number 6. Mother Talzin. Mother Talzin wielded dark magics that predated and transcended both Jedi and Sith traditions, making even Darth Sidious actively avoid direct confrontation with her. As spiritual leader of the Nightsisters of Dathomir, she commanded powers that operated on completely different principles than traditional Force use. Her abilities included manifesting solid weapons from green mist, creating impenetrable protective barriers, and teleporting across the galaxy through spirit ichor and crystal balls. Her most impressive display came in the canon Son of Dathomir comic, where she simultaneously battled Darth Sidious and Count Dooku while defending against General Grievous's droid army and orbital bombardment. She nearly killed both Sith Lords, forcing them to retreat despite their combined might. Her possession abilities were particularly terrifying. She could inhabit and control people across vast distances, as demonstrated when she possessed Dooku himself during the Clone Wars. Talzin's mastery over life and death surpassed even advanced Sith alchemy. She resurrected Darth Maul from madness and reconstructed his shattered body using cybernetics and magics. She could raise armies of undead Nightsisters, create voodoo dolls that inflicted real damage on targets light years away, and enhance warriors with supernatural strength and speed through her ichor baptisms. Her only weakness was maternal love. She sacrificed herself to save Maul from Sidious's torture, using her final moments to ensure his escape. Her death ended the Nightsisters' major influence on galactic events, though their magics proved that ultimate Force mastery could exist entirely outside Jedi-Sith paradigms. Number 7. Kylo Ren. Ben Solo inherited the Skywalker raw power and combined it with an unprecedented Force phenomenon, a dyad connection with Rey. This bond, described by Palpatine as unseen for generations, granted them abilities no other Force users possessed. They could communicate across the galaxy as if standing in the same room, physically interact, despite being light years apart, and even engage in lightsaber combat while on different planets entirely. Kylo's individual abilities were equally impressive. He could freeze blaster bolts mid-air and hold them suspended indefinitely, a feat never seen before The Force Awakens. His mind-reading abilities were so powerful, he could extract memories and thoughts directly, though this backfired when Rey accessed his training in return. He could immobilize multiple people simultaneously with a gesture, making them living statues unable to move or speak. The dyad connection grew stronger over time. In The Last Jedi, water from Ahch-To splashed onto his hand during a Force bond moment with Rey. By the rise of Skywalker, they could pass physical objects between locations, with Rey handing him Luke's lightsaber through their connection during combat. This bond made them essentially one person in the Force, explaining their matched power levels despite Rey's limited training. His redemption as Ben Solo revealed his true potential. He easily defeated the Knights of Ren without a lightsaber, transferred his entire life force to resurrect Rey, and proved that the Skywalker legacy of redemption continued through him. His sacrifice showed that power means nothing without purpose. Number 8. Rey Skywalker. Rey's Force development shattered every convention about training and bloodlines. Within a single year, she progressed from scavenging on Jakku to defeating the resurrected Emperor Palpatine. Her Palpatine heritage provided raw potential, but her unique circumstances created unprecedented rapid development. The Force dyad with Ben Solo allowed her to essentially download his years of training when their minds connected in The Force Awakens. Her abilities evolved at impossible speeds. She mastered Jedi mind tricks on her first attempt, lifted dozens of massive boulders simultaneously with minimal effort, and learned Force healing, a skill lost for generations, through pure instinct. She could sense the past of objects through psychometry, experiencing Kylo Ren's memories through his helmet, and seeing Luke's history through his lightsaber. The dyad connection granted abilities beyond any training. She and Kylo could duel across galactic distances, their lightsabers clashing with full physical impact despite being on different planets. During their final confrontation with Palpatine, she channeled the spirits of every Jedi who ever lived. This wasn't metaphorical. Voices of past Jedi from Yoda to Ahsoka Tano spoke through her as she deflected Palpatine's lightning back at him. Her journey proved that destiny isn't determined by bloodline but by choice. She rejected her Palpatine heritage, chose the Skywalker name, and buried Luke and Leia's lightsabers on Tatooine before igniting her own yellow blade. Rey showed that the Force belongs to everyone, not just legendary lineages, and that hope can triumph over the darkest heritage. Ready to explore more mysteries of the Force? Subscribe now for deep dives into Star Wars lore, from ancient Jedi texts to the secrets of the Sith. Until next time, may the Force be with you.